So, hi guys, good evening. In this session, we are going to start what is Angular framework, why Angular framework came into picture, what is the prerequisites to learn Angular. Okay, now let me start with a new text document. Okay, now what is the course we are going to learn here is Angular framework. Okay, so Angular framework. So before introducing what is Angular framework, let me introduce myself. Myself, Sai Teja. I am having around 3+ years of experience in developing both front-end based applications and back-end based applications, that is completely developing a web applications. Okay, so presently I am working on a full stack stream where I will be involving on working with Angular framework and working with back-end development like Spring Boot. Okay, so I have knowledge on Angular, React, okay, and front-end UI technologies, along with those back-end Java, that is core Java, advanced Java, Hibernate, Spring, Spring Boot, and Spring Cloud and microservices. So this is a quick introduction about myself. Now let me start. What is Angular framework? Angular Angular is a framework. Angular is a framework which is used to develop the web applications. What is it is used? It is used to develop web applications. Okay, what is web application? First, let me discuss what is a web application. Web application means web application means the application which is deployed in the web server and by accessing that web server we will be getting a response. Okay, now my question is, what is the basic meaning of web application? Web application means it is a collection of web pages. Okay, so if it is a collection of web pages, then it is called as what? A web application here. Okay, now web application basically runs over the internet. Okay, by using the internet we can able to run what? Web application. Okay, so for every web application there will be one URL. For every web application there will be one URL. Example www.google.com. Okay, so this is a URL of a Google web application. By writing this URL in the URL bar, we will be accessing to Google application here. Okay, that's great. Now, how our application is deployed in the web server and how we will be getting the response when we send the request to a web application, we will see now. Now let me take one simple paint example. Okay, so this is a one application. Assume this is my application. Okay, application. This application is deployed in a web server. Okay, so this application is deployed in a web server. Okay. Sir, what are the basic examples of a web server? Basic examples of web servers are Tomcat, okay, so Glassfish, like so on. We will be having multiple web servers here. Okay, so assume these are the different types of what web servers. Okay, our application is deployed in a web server. Okay, so to run this web server, we have, okay, so we should need what? We should need one OS, right? Okay, so OS or computer, we should need what? Computer or OS. Let me take, okay, I want a operating system. Okay, I want a what? Operating system. Okay, so this is a operating system. Okay, on top of this operating system, okay, I will be installing a server. Okay, so I will be installing a server. By using this server, we can able to access what? Our application here. Okay, to access this application which is deployed in the web server, okay, so we should require multiple clients, right? Okay, so assume this is a client 1. Okay, so he is a client 2. Okay, he is a client 3, and he is a client 4. Okay, so there are 4 clients: client 1, client 2, okay, so client 3 and client 4. So what these clients are doing? Okay, so these clients are sending the request. Okay, so client 1, client 2, client 3, client 3, and here it is client 4. Okay, so all these clients are sending the request. Okay, what they are doing? They are sending the request to our application which is deployed in the web server. These clients will be of different types. Like first client is sending the request from mobile. Okay, from mobile phone he is sending the request. Okay, from mobile phone. Next client, he is sending the request from tablet. Okay, tab. Third client, he is sending the request from computer. Okay, computer. Fourth client, he is sending the request from laptop. Assume laptop. These are the 4 different types of clients. Sir, once the client is sending the request will be coming to our server. Internally, it will communicating to our operating system, and by using this operating system, okay, the application which is deployed in the web server, okay, will be started, and we will be providing what? We will be providing the response to the clients. We will be providing what? We will be providing the response to the clients. Okay, now let me take. This is request, and this is what? Response. Okay, this is what? This is response. Response. And this is what? This is response. Okay, so this is request. 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 Okay, that's great. Now we have got some clarity. By using our web application, we can able to access our that means we can able to access our application through using the browser, and we will be getting the response which we will be getting from the web server. Okay, that's great. Now my target is, sir, our application will be executed in one web server, and we will be entering the URL in our web browser. Okay, that's great. But how, sir? But how these web application we will be getting the response. Okay, so internally, there will be, there will be load balancers concept. Okay, so load balancers concept where where the LB, okay, so the LB which is free, it will take the request. Okay, so it will take the request and it will provide the response. Okay, it will provide the response. For example, there are three load balancers: load balancer 1, load balancer 2, and load balancer 3. For load balancer 1, at a time it can handle 10 requests. For 10 requests are completed. Second load balancer, it can handle only 9 requests. Okay, so third load balancer can handle 8 requests, but okay, presently it is handling how many requests? 6 requests. Assume 6 requests. When we are getting the request from the browser, immediately this load balancer will come into picture and it will provide the response to the client. Okay, so don't think only one people will be accessing our application. No, 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 no. Multiple people from the across the country, those people will be accessing our application to provide them the positive and fast response. We will be using a concept called as what? Load balancing. Okay, so just remember this term, load balancer. This load balancer is used to provide the response as early as possible. Okay, that's great. Now after this load balancer gets completed, sir, you told that we can able to develop web applications, but to develop a web applications, what is required? Okay, to develop web applications, we required some technologies. Okay, we required some technologies. Like what are those technologies? Those are client side technologies, and next one is what? Server side technologies. Client side technologies, and next one is what? Server side technologies. Okay, now first we will understand what is client side technologies. Client side technologies, it is nothing but the language which can be, okay, which can be understood by the browser. Okay, which can be understood by the browser is called as what? Client side technologies. Is called as what? Client side technologies. Example: HTML, CSS, okay, JavaScript. These three things can be understood by the browser. Okay, example of a browser. So what is a browser? By using browser we can able to serve the internet. Okay, so example: Google Chrome, okay, Firefox, okay, so Opera, like dot 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 dot. Okay, so this is the thing. Browser can understand only these three technologies, that is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript here. Okay, so what is HTML? HTML stands for what? Hypertext markup language. Okay, so hypertext markup language. What is the latest version of HTML? HTML5. Okay, so what is CSS? CSS stands for cascading style sheets. Okay, so cascading style sheet. What is the latest version? CSS3 is the latest version. Okay, why JavaScript? JavaScript is used to, it is used to develop what? Develop dynamic web pages. Okay, so dynamic web pages. Uh, Sir, by using HTML and CSS, we can develop what? We can develop only static web page. Static web page. Sir, what is static web page? If the web page content is fixed and it won't change, such type of web page is called as what? Static web page. Okay, static web page means what? If the content, if the content won't get changed and it is fixed, It is called as what? Called as static web page. Okay, so static web page. Next, what is server side technologies? Server side technologies means the technologies which is understood by the, okay, so which is understood by the server is called as what? Server side. Okay, is called as what? Server side technologies. Server side technologies. Example, what are the server side technologies? ASP.NET. Okay, so our favorite Java server pages. Okay, MVC. So these are what? Different kinds of server side technologies here. Is understood by the server. Okay. Is what? Server side technologies here. What are the examples of server side technologies? ASP.NET. Okay, so Java server pages, and next one is what? MVC here. Okay, done. That is great. Now, by using, okay, so by using JavaScript, okay, we can develop what? We can develop the dynamic web pages. Okay, so dynamic web pages. That means, that means the DOM is generated, okay, the DOM is generated automatically. That means dynamically. Automatically means dynamically the DOM is generated. Okay, by using JavaScript, the DOM is generated automatically. Okay, okay. Now my point here is, sir, how this DOM is generated? When we run the application, automatically the DOM is generated by the browser. The DOM is generated by the browser itself only. Okay, so browser will generate the DOM. Okay, for, okay, for every HTML element, okay, for every HTML element, a DOM object is created. Okay, a DOM object is created. For example, HTML tag. Okay, so header tag. For every these kinds of elements, a separate DOM objects will be created. Here there are two elements. That means how many DOM objects are created? Two DOM objects are, okay, are created. Okay, sir, that is great. By using JavaScript, we can able to develop dynamic web pages. That means what? The web pages content will not be fixed. It will be changing. Okay, time to time as per user request. Okay, so as per user request. Okay, that's great. Sir, after this JavaScript, okay, so front end people has introduced another that means another library called jQuery. Okay, by using jQuery also, okay, by using jQuery, we can do what? We can develop okay, so dynamic web pages. Okay, we can develop dynamic web pages. That means we can develop dynamic DOMs. Okay, that's great. Uh, internally, internally, jQuery is a library. Okay, okay, jQuery is a library. Okay, that's great. Uh, in jQuery, everything, okay, everything is considered as a function. Okay, in jQuery, everything is considered as a function. Whenever, okay, so whenever the page gets loaded, okay, the page gets loaded, complete contents, okay, so complete contents, that means complete DOM will be loaded, but my requirement is, okay, but my requirement is I want to, okay, so I want to develop a single page web application. Okay, so single page web application. Okay, okay, okay. So when I am using JavaScript and jQuery, every time the complete page gets loaded. But this time, what I want to do, I don't want to load the complete web page every time. Just I want to load a particular portion. Okay, where I want to load a particular frame only, a particular region. Okay, to develop such kind of applications, we need what? We need a frameworks. That means to develop a single page web applications, we need a framework. To develop, okay, to develop single page web applications, we need what? We need a, okay, we need a framework. Okay, so what is the framework we need? Okay, we need a framework called Angular. Okay, by using Angular we can able to develop single page web applications. Next, by using React framework also we can able to develop what? A single page web applications here. Okay, that's great. But jQuery is a library. Okay, jQuery is a library. Then what is a, what is a framework? Okay, then what is a framework? Framework means it simplifies. Okay, so it simplifies the code. Okay, so it simplifies the code and makes the programmer, okay, so makes a programmer to develop, okay, to develop the application very fastly. Okay, so in a very fast manner, very fast manner. Okay, so this is the use of framework here. Okay, so what these people are thinking? Okay, so these people are thinking to develop a single page web application. Okay, so to develop a SPA application, okay, to develop a SPA application, Google company, okay, so Google company has introduced, okay, so has introduced a, okay, a framework, is introduced a framework, first framework, that is called as what? Angular JS framework. First they have introduced Angular JS framework, which is introduced by Google company. Okay, by using this Angular JS we can able to develop a single page applications. Okay, so later this Angular JS, okay, so this Angular JS is changed to Angular. Okay, is changed to Angular, where where TypeScript concept got introduced. Okay, so where TypeScript concept got introduced. Sir, what is this TypeScript concept? Okay, so don't worry. When we are going into sessions, we will be discussing what is TypeScript, how to work with TypeScript, and how to write the code in TypeScript. What is the difference between JavaScript and TypeScript? How the TypeScript compiler will work. Okay, so what is AOT compiler? Like we will be discussing multiple concepts. But up to now, just remember, in Angular, TypeScript concept got introduced. Okay, by using this TypeScript concept we will be developing a single page web applications here. Okay, now what is the latest version of Angular? The latest version of Angular is Angular 15 is a latest version. Okay, so Angular 15 is a latest version. Okay, that's great. Now let me write one simple definition of Angular. Okay, if anyone asks you what is Angular, Angular is a, okay, so Angular is a open source, okay, Angular is a open source framework which is used to develop develop web applications, okay, which used to develop web applications and mobile applications. Okay, we can able to develop web applications and mobile applications. Okay, so this single line you remember. Okay, that's great. To learn this Angular framework, what are the prerequisites? Okay, to learn this Angular, the prerequisites are, okay, the prerequisites are 1 HTML, 2 CSS, okay, so 2 CSS, and 3 is JavaScript. Okay, so you should have knowledge on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So these are the three prerequisites. Sir, when I'm starting this Angular course, okay, there I won't be using CSS. Instead of this CSS, I will be working with Bootstrap. Okay, so Bootstrap. Sir, what is this Bootstrap? Bootstrap means it is a, okay, so it is a advanced concept of CSS only, advanced concept of CSS, where all the styles are defined. Okay, so where all the styles are defined in, okay, so in the term of classes. Okay, in the term of classes, okay, we will be defining the CSS styles here. Okay, so prerequisites are HTML, CSS and JavaScript. In my application development, that means when I am working with Angular, okay, at that time I won't be using CSS, I will be using Bootstrap only. Okay, so what is the duration to learn this course? Duration is 40 days. Okay, so duration is 40 days. So what is the course content? Okay, so what is the concepts I will be discussing along with this Angular? Okay, so what are the Angular 15 features? Okay, so how to work with Visual Studio Code, how to link the Git to Visual Studio Code, okay, how to push the how to push the changes, how to pull the changes, like each and everything which is used in the real time, same real time concepts I will be sharing with you, that's for sure. Okay, so thank you people, have a great day. Here you can able to see nodejs.org. This is the official website of Node.js. You can able to see here. Node.js is a cross-platform open source JavaScript runtime environment. Okay, so we can able to install Node.js in any operating system, either on Mac, on Linux, Windows, okay, and Unix, etc. Okay, now let me open this Node.js website, Node.js. Okay, now you can able to see this is the official website. Node.js is an open source cross-platform JavaScript runtime environment. Here you can able to see two types of versions here. One is called as what, LTS version, and another one is called as what, current version here. Okay, now before downloading this, let me write few points about Node.js. Node.js is used to execute the TypeScript, that is Angular applications in the browser. Okay, so we can able to execute the Angular applications in the browser here. Okay, so when we are downloading the, okay, so when we are downloading the Node.js, we can able to see two types of, okay, we can able to see two types of versions, that is one LTS version and second one is called as what, current version. Okay, so LTS version and current version. What is LTS version? LTS stands for long term support version. Okay, so long term support. Current version means it is called as what, beta version. That means it is still in a development state here. Okay, now Node.js is a open source. Okay, so Node.js is a open source cross platform. Okay, so it is a open source and a cross platform software. Okay, now let me install Node.js. Okay, so installing Node.js. Step number 1, open google.com and type Node.js. Step 2, Okay, step 2. Open the official website. Second, open node.js.org/en. So here, download LTS version. Okay, so download LTS version. Okay, so once download gets completed, open Node.js. Okay, so here click on next. Next, 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 next. Click on install. Okay, then again click on yes. Okay, so it will take some time. Sir, I am not a Windows user, I am a Mac user. You can able to see here different types of installers for Mac OS, for Linux and for Windows. In Windows also, if you are a 32-bit user or if you are a 64-bit user. So like this we will be having multiple versions also. When you install Node.js, automatically the npm also gets installed. Okay, so what is npm means? Node Package Manager. So it is same as like Java jar files, or if you are from .NET, okay, so .ddl files like that. I am from Java background, okay, so it is same as like jar files. So it contains all the libraries, classes in it. Okay, so here the download got that means the setup got completed. What happened? Okay, so Node.js has been installed successfully. Then click on finish. Okay, done. Sir, after installing Node.js, install Node.js in your system. After installing Node.js, the next step is check whether Node.js has installed correctly or not. Okay, so we have to check either Node.js is installed correctly or not. So for this, let me open command prompt. command prompt, and here type what? Type node hyphen v. Okay, now you can able to see this is the latest Node.js version. Okay, so 20.11.11, this is the latest version which is installed in our system. Okay, that's great. Now after this, in the browser you can able to see Node.js includes npm also. Okay, so first we should understand what is npm. Okay, so why this npm is installing. Okay, so why it is including. First we have to understand that. Now let me start. What is npm? Okay, so what is npm? npm stands for Node Package Manager. Okay, so npm stands for Node Package Manager. It is used to, okay, so it is used to install all the libraries. Okay, so it is used to install all the libraries, that means packages, which are, okay, so which are required for our application. Okay, so which are required for our application. Okay, now officially, okay, so officially npm has one website. Okay, so one website. Now let me open that website. Okay, so npm. Okay, so this is the npm website. Now here what I want to do, I want to install bootstrap for my angular application. So here we have to type what? Bootstrap. Now you can able to see we can able to install bootstrap for our angular application. What is the bootstrap version? 5.3.3. To install bootstrap we have to use one command. What is that command? Npm install bootstrap. So here what is this bootstrap? Bootstrap is nothing but it is a library. Okay, so it is a library or it is a package which is required in our application development. So not only bootstrap, we can install material, TypeScript. Okay, so depends upon the client requirement, we have to install the libraries when we are developing our Angular application here. Okay, so by, okay, so like this we can able to develop what? We can able to develop the Angular application by installing the bootstrap. Okay, that's great. Now come here, come down, you can able to see so how many downloads it has been completed, what is the version, so how, okay, so what is the size, okay, so size of this package. Next, uh, how many types of versions are available for bootstrap. Okay, so this is a versions of bootstrap. Bootstrap 3, bootstrap 4, bootstrap 5, like that, different types of versions here. Okay, so not only this, we can able to install the React also. Okay, so if you want to install React, okay, so you can able to install the React by from this npm also. Like we will be installing TypeScript when we are developing the Angular application. When you are working with React, okay, we will be installing npm I React.js, like this. Okay, so each and every package is available inside this npm js website. Okay, now let me write some points. npm contains a list of packages. Okay, npm contains a list of packages. What type of packages? All the JavaScript packages. Okay, so all the JavaScript packages it contains. Okay, that's great. So after installing this Node.js, now what is my next step is, sir, I want to install what? Okay, I want to install this npm. Okay, So I want to install what? I want to install npm. Sir, how to install npm? To install npm, okay, so first we have to install npm. First we have to download node.js. Okay, so first we have to download node.js. When we download node.js, automatically, okay, so automatically the npm gets installed. Okay, the npm gets installed. So that is the point. Now I have explicitly used, okay, to download npm. I have explicitly used the term to download. Okay, so if you go to interview, if interviewer is asking you how you will download npm means, okay, if you say like this, npm I like that, no, 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 you have to tell him when we are downloading the node.js only, automatically the npm gets installed. Okay, so npm is used at client side. Okay, at client side development, that means it is used in the angular application. Okay, so to check, okay, to check what type of, okay, what type of npm version is installed in our system, we have to, okay, we have to use a command called, okay, use a command called npm hyphen v is a command. Now let me open the command prompt. Npm hyphen v. Now you can able to see the npm that is installed in our system is 10.2.4 is the npm version. Okay, that's great. Okay, sir, I have installed the Node.js and npm got installed successfully. Okay, but to develop the Angular applications, or we will write the code in JavaScript. We will be writing the code in JavaScript. No, right? Sir, where we will be writing the code? We will be writing the code in TypeScript here. Okay, so TypeScript. Okay, so TypeScript. Now, what is this TypeScript? Okay, so what is this TypeScript? TypeScript, TypeScript is a language which is developed on top of JavaScript. Okay, on top of JavaScript, TypeScript language was developed. Okay, so who developed TypeScript? TypeScript is developed by whom? Is developed by Google. No, not Google, sorry, is developed by Microsoft Corporation. Okay, is developed by Microsoft Corporation. Sir, why TypeScript? Sir, although we are having JavaScript, then why TypeScript came into picture? Okay, so by using JavaScript, we can able to develop the dynamic web pages. That is great, and we can able to perform what? Dynamic operations also. But JavaScript doesn't have, okay, so JavaScript doesn't have a compiler. Okay, JavaScript doesn't have a compiler. Next, writing the code, okay, so writing the code in JavaScript is very difficult. JavaScript is very difficult. To overcome, to overcome the cons of the JavaScript, TypeScript has been introduced by the Microsoft here. Okay, sir, why TypeScript? To to make the programmer's life easy, to make the programmer's life easy when he is developing, okay, so when he is developing Angular application. So when he is developing Angular application, so TypeScript got introduced by Microsoft. Internally, this TypeScript is again converted into JavaScript. Sir, how it is converted? Okay, so in the next classes we will be discussing how it will be converted. But now up to just remember, okay, so TypeScript is developed on top of the JavaScript. TypeScript is developed by Microsoft Corporation. Like the cons of JavaScript is JavaScript doesn't have the compiler, and writing the code in JavaScript is very difficult. To make the programmer's life easy, so when his TypeScript has been introduced, that's great. So what is the next advantage of TypeScript? TypeScript, okay, so TypeScript has compiler. Okay, so TypeScript has compiler, and it has okay, and it has its own data types. Okay, it has its own data types. Okay, so in TypeScript has compiler, then next it has its own data types. We can able to say TypeScript equal to what? JavaScript plus compiler. Okay, so JavaScript plus compiler. So this is the thing. Okay, to install, okay, to install TypeScript, what is the thing? Sir, I have installed Node.js. Is TypeScript directly installed in our application, or it will be installed in our system? No, 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 no. First we have to install the TypeScript explicitly. How to install? To install TypeScript, okay, we have to open this npm. Okay, we have to open this npm site, and here we have to type what? TypeScript. Okay, so TypeScript. Now you can able to see. Okay, so this is the TypeScript. This is the official website of TypeScript. Okay, so this is the official website of TypeScript here. Okay, now let me install the TypeScript. Sir, how to install? Okay, so to install TypeScript, okay, we have to use what? We have to use a command called npm I TypeScript -g. Okay, so here G means globally. Globally means once we install TS in our system, we can access it from anywhere. Okay, we can access it from anywhere. Okay, that is great. Now let me install TypeScript. How to install TypeScript? npm in I, that means npm install TypeScript. Okay, so TypeScript -g and click on enter. Okay, now the TypeScript is getting installed. To install TypeScript, internet is mandatory. What is mandatory? Internet is mandatory here. Okay, now TypeScript has been introduced. Okay, that is great. And we have installed the TypeScript also. Okay, very good. And now TypeScript has been installed in our system. It is telling one thing: hey programmer, there is a new npm is available. Okay, can you install the npm? That means, do you want to update the npm? If you want to update the npm, you can use this command. And now I am telling, no, 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 I don't want to update the npm, because for me 10.2.4 is sufficient. Okay, now let me check what is the TypeScript version that has been installed. tsc-v. The TypeScript version is what? 5.3.3 is the TypeScript version what is installed in my system. Now come here and check what is the latest version of TypeScript. Latest version of TypeScript is 5.3.3. Okay, okay, we have installed the latest version only in our system. Okay, that's great. Now let me copy this, paste. Okay, now let me discuss about what is Angular CLI. Okay, so Angular CLI. Angular CLI means Angular command line interface. Okay, so command line interface. So why we will be using this Angular CLI? Okay, so what is the need? Okay, so why this Angular CLI came into picture? We already know what we know. Angular is not a library; it is a framework. Okay, so to work with framework, CLI came into picture. Okay, we will be understanding more in depth about this Angular CLI in the next session. Before winding up this session, I want topics that we will be discussing. One is what? Introduction to Angular. This is the first topic. Next, Angular environment setup. Okay, so Angular environment setup. Next, creating a Angular application is the third one. Next, understanding about Angular application folders and files. Okay, we will understand like when we create an Angular application, what are the folders and what are the files we will be getting. Then next, introduction to TypeScript. Okay, so introduction to TypeScript. Next, working with templates, styles, and directives. Okay, so this is the thing. Then next, mm, components. Okay, so how to work with components. Next, data binding. Okay, data binding. Next, pipes. Okay, so how to work with existing pipes and how to create our new custom pipes. Then next, working with services. Here, how to integrate with API and how to work with Ajax calls also like that. Okay, next, how to work with dependency injection. Okay, dependency injection. Next, working with Angular forms. Okay, next, routing. Like here we will be using that means routing from one component to another component. We will be using activated route. In that, how to work with query params. Next, routing along with authentication. Like all these things we will be discussing. Routing with authentication. Okay, so routing with authentication. And the next one here is RxJS operators. Okay, so RxJS operators and working with the observables. Okay, so what is observables? Okay, so how to work with observables, like each and everything, what is subject and behavior. Okay, so what is subject and what is behavioral subject, when to go for subject and when to go for behavioral subject, like all these things. Next, working with modules. Okay, so how to work with modules, how to create a module, so like that. Next, Angular 15 versions enhancements. Okay, so what are the new things we have came inside this Angular 15 enhancements. Then next, uh, developing a developing a project uh, along with the source code. Okay, so along with the source code, I will be developing a project in front of you. Okay, done. And the next one here is what, uh, applying. Okay, so applying JWT token for our project, for our application. Okay, in login. Okay, so in login page. Okay, next. And the last one here is Angular testing. Angular testing. We will be working with the Jasmine Karma framework. Okay, so Jasmine Karma framework. Okay, so this is the thing. So to complete this 19 topics, okay, so what is the duration is? Duration is 40 to 50 days. Okay. So duration is 40 to 50 days. Duration 40 to 50 days. So every day, okay, so every day I will be taking 1 hour. Okay, so 1 hour class. This is the thing. So that's it, guys. In the next class, we will be discussing the remaining topics like what is Angular CLI. Okay, so why to use Angular CLI. Next, how to create a new TypeScript examples. Okay, so how to work with small TypeScript applications like this. Okay, so that's it, guys. So yesterday that is a demo class 1, and today this is a demo class 2. Once you people gets confirmed, next in the next sessions we will be diving it into the subject. Okay, so thank you, guys, have a great day.
So, hi guys, good morning. In the last session, just we have understood uh, what is Angular. So, what are the topics we are going to cover as part of this course? So, just I have given a quick introduction about Angular. In today's session, we are going to understand what is Angular CLI and what is the purpose of it. Okay, so now let me start. What is the full form of CLI? CLI stands for Okay, so CLI stands for Command Line Interface. Okay, so CLI stands for what? Command Line Interface. Sir, why this CLI is used? Okay, so it is mainly used at, okay, it is mainly used at command line. Okay, it is mainly used at command line prompt, or we can able to tell like it is used, like it is mainly used at a command line prompt, which is, okay, so which is used to, okay, so which is used to create, okay, so which is used to create or develop the, okay, so which used to create or develop the Angular application. Okay, by using Angular CLI, okay, we can able to create or develop what? Angular application here. Okay, so by using CLI, okay, so by using Angular CLI, we can able to, okay, so we can able to develop what we can able to develop, we can able to develop, okay, so classes, okay, so components, services, okay, so classes, components, services, and dot. So we can able to develop more things here. But if we want to develop all these things, okay, so if if we okay, if we want to develop all the above things, like creating classes, okay, so creating components, okay, so creating services, first first we have to, okay, we have to install Angular CLI in our system. Okay, in our system we have to install Angular CLI. To install Angular CLI, Okay, so what is that command? So what is the command? The command name here is, okay, so npm install, okay, @ angular slash, okay, so angular slash CLI hyphen G, or you can able to place G here also. Okay, so hyphen G. Sir, here what is hyphen G stands for? Hyphen G stands for globally. Okay, what is this? Globally. So if the Angular is installed in your PC at C drive, and if you are developing a application at D drive or E drive, okay, so your Angular CLI must be, okay, so your Angular CLI should be accessed across your computer. So that's the reason we are using what? Hyphen G. What is this? G stands for what? Globally here. Okay, so now to install Angular CLI, what is the thing? Okay, in the previous session, we have installed, okay, so how to install Node.js. Now today we will install what? Angular. Okay, now let me open Node.js here. Okay, so command prompt, yeah, command prompt, Node.js command prompt. Okay, so here what you have to type here is, okay, you have to install npm install, okay, so hyphen G @ angular slash CLI. Okay, so angular slash CLI. Then click on what? Then click on enter. So once you are using this command, okay, in your system, internet should be connected. Okay, so internet should be connected here. Okay, so just wait for 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, it will install the Angular CLI in your local system here. Okay, now you can able to see Angular CLI has been successfully installed in your system. Added 59 packages. Okay, so removed 49 unnecessary packages. Okay, so there are 177 changes in the packages, like when the node version gets changes, automatically there will be some packages will be changed, and okay, unnecessary packages will be deleted also. Okay, so after installing this, I have to check, okay, so what is the node version? Okay, so for this, what we have to do? First we have to type what? Okay, so no, node hyphen v. Okay, so first let me check what is the node version. Okay, the node version is 20.11.1. This is the node version. Now I want to know what is the Angular version. Okay, so how to check Angular version? Ng space version here. Okay, now it is telling what is the current Angular version we are having. And now observe guys, what is the current Angular version we are having? We are having 17.3.5. That means we are working with Angular 17 here. Okay, the uh, internal node is node 20.11.1 here. Okay, so these are the required things. Okay, so what installed along with Angular CLI. Now you can able to see this is Angular CLI, this is our Angular version, this is the internal node version here. Okay, so this is our operating system, and this is what internally package manager, that is what npm. Okay, now you may get it out, sir, what is npm, sir? Okay, so npm stands for node package manager. Okay, so it is responsible. Sir, what it will do? It is responsible to unzip all the packages and to install all the packages in our application here. Okay, so that is what npm stands for. Okay, now after installing this Angular CLI, now what is the next task here? The next task here is now I want to install what? Install, okay, Visual Studio Code. Okay, install what? Install Visual Studio Code. Sir, how to install Visual Studio Code? Now let me open Google. Okay, so here just type, okay, so Visual Studio Code. Okay, so Visual Studio Code, you can able to see here the first one. Okay, so click on this and now you can able to see. Okay, so Visual Studio Code, download Visual Studio Code. What is this? It is an free and open built open source integrated with the Git debugging extensions. Okay, so this is what, this is a IDE here. Okay, so if you are working on Windows, okay, you can choose this. No, I'm working on Linux. No, I'm working on Mac here. Now in my system, I'm working on Windows here. Now here you can able to see user installer, system installer, or if you want to work with zip CLI like that. No, just I want to what? Okay, I want to user installer. Okay, so let me click on this x64 bit. Okay, now come here, come down. Now see here, automatically. Okay, so Visual Studio Code got getting installed. That means it is downloading. Now you can able to see, thanks for downloading Visual Studio Code. Now what is this? Visual Studio Code is a lightweight, okay, but powerful source editor where we can able to run what, C++, C Sharp, Java, Python, PHP, all the code we can able to write inside this Visual Studio Code here. Okay, so there are many extensions along with this. Okay, now have a look once. We can work with Python, extension for Java, GitHub, Copilot. Okay, so like this. Okay, so there are keyboard shortcuts for version to version. The keyboard shortcuts gets changed. Okay, now let me show you. So what is something happened here. Okay, now you can able to see these are the different types of extensions which are used for what? Visual Studio Code. Okay, so GitHub Copilot. Okay, so Azure API, NPM Studio, Purple School Theme, Python. Okay, so Jupyter, C Sharp, .NET, C++, like that multiple extensions are available. Depends on our requirement. We can able to work with Visual Studio Code by downloading the extension. Okay, guys. After downloading, what we have to do? Okay, so just open this Visual Studio Code. Yeah, now you can able to see this is a Visual Studio Code here. Okay, now click on I accept the agreement. Click on next, next, next. Okay, so create desktop icon. Next, 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 and click on what, finish here. Okay, done guys. Now you can able to see Visual Studio Code, but in the, okay, but in the browser you can able to see Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code. Sir, what is the difference between Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code? Now let me tell you, Visual Studio is a heavyweight. Okay, so is a heavyweight IDE. Okay, is a heavyweight IDE, whereas VS Code is a lightweight IDE here. What is this? It is a lightweight IDE. Okay, now first we will understand what is IDE. Okay, so IDE stands for Integrated Development. Okay, so IDE stands for what? Integrated Development Environment. Okay, so by using this IDE, what we can able to do? Okay, so by using IDE, we can able to develop the application. We can able to develop the applications very easily. Okay, so very easily. Very easily means what? Okay, so it won't take much time here. Okay, next, Visual Studio Code. Okay, so VS Code is developed by, okay, so it is developed by Microsoft Corporation. Okay, so it is developed by whom? It is developed by Microsoft Corporation, which is used to build what? Which is used to build client side applications. Sir, what is client side applications? Okay, so the front end. Okay, so the front end based applications are called as what? Client side applications here. Okay, so the backend languages such as Java, C Sharp, .NET, those are called as what? Backend programming languages. Okay, so those are server side applications. Okay, so these are what client side applications here. Okay, so front end based application. Okay, so what is Visual Studio Code? Visual Studio Code is a class platform. Okay, so it is a class platform tool which is executable. Okay, so which is executable or installed in different OS. Okay, so which can be executable or installed in a different OS. Okay, so in editors, okay, so in editors like Notepad plus plus, okay, so Notepad plus plus, okay, Notepad, we can able to write code, but but in our, okay, in our IDE directly, okay, so directly we can able to write the code. Okay, we can able to write the code, and we can able to we can able to do what, we can able to execute the code also. So we can able to execute the code inside the terminal. Where guys, inside the terminal here. Okay, done. Now, what is the example of IDE? The example of IDE is what? Visual Studio Code is an example of IDE. So what is an example of editor? Okay, so editor means what? Okay, so Notepad. Okay, so Notepad plus plus and so on like that. Okay, now in our VS Code, it provides, okay, so it provides support for support for what? Support for VCS also. Sir, what is VCS? Version control system. Okay, so version control system, also called as what? Git. Okay, so it supports for Git also. Okay, so what is Git? Git is a distributed version control system. Okay, so it supports what? It supports for Git also. Next, so I have told you, right? So okay, so it consists of what? It has many extensions. Okay, it has many extensions also. Many extensions also. Okay, guys. Now, after installing this, okay, so what is the next concept here is introduction to TypeScript. Okay, so introduction to TypeScript. Okay, so what is TypeScript? Okay, so how to write code inside TypeScript. So although we are having JavaScript, why TypeScript came into picture? Like all those things we will be discussing in next video. Okay, so thank you guys. Have a great day. Hello. Hello. So yes, guys. So in today's session, we are going to understand so introduction to TypeScript. So what is TypeScript and how to execute a program in the TypeScript we will see now. Okay, now let me start the session here. TypeScript introduction. So what is TypeScript introduction here? So TypeScript is basically, okay, so basically it is developed on top of the JavaScript. Okay, so TypeScript is basically developed on top of the JavaScript. It is the combination of JavaScript and data types. Okay, so combination of JavaScript and data types. Sir, what is this data types? Okay, so in TypeScript also we will be having some data types. Okay, so it has some data types. Okay, so it is a combination of JavaScript and data types. That means what, TypeScript is built on top of the JavaScript here. Okay, very good. Now what is the next question here? Okay, Sir, although we are having TypeScript, then although we are having JavaScript, then why we should use TypeScript? TypeScript is very easy. Okay, so TypeScript is very easy to write, and there won't be any burden on the programmer. Okay, there won't be any burden on the programmer. That means what? If you want to write anything in the JavaScript, okay, so JavaScript is somewhat difficult programming language, whereas if you want to code anything in the TypeScript, yes, you can code happily. Okay, so there won't be any that much confusion or that much burden on the programmer here. And one more thing, JavaScript is a okay, so JavaScript is a not strongly typed programming language. Okay, it is not strongly typed programming language here. Sir, what is strongly typed programming language? I can't able to understand. For example, in JavaScript, if I give var a equal to Sai, yes, it is accepted. Okay. If I give a equal to 10, yes, it is accepted. Okay. So if I give a equal to 2.2, yes, it is accepted. That means what? It will take any kind of data type here. For example, in Java, okay, in Java, if we provide int a equal to 10, okay, so this is what this is valid here. For example, if you provide a equal to Sai, immediately we will be getting the error. Okay, so what is that? uh, Type mismatch error. Okay, required int found string here. Okay, so like that we will be getting the error here. So JavaScript is not a strongly typed programming language here. Okay, done. Okay, guys. So what is strongly typed programming language? Java. Okay, so C++. Okay, so C Sharp .NET. These are called as what? These are strongly typed programming languages here. Okay, so strongly typed programming languages. Okay, very good. Now, after understanding the difference between what is strongly typed and what is not strongly typed programming languages, next I want to understand, sir, is JavaScript is pure object-oriented programming language? Okay, is JavaScript is pure object-oriented programming language? No. The answer is no. JavaScript is not pure object-oriented programming language here. Okay. So sir, although if the JavaScript is not pure object-oriented programming language, why people are using this JavaScript here? The first one here is it is used to reusability. Okay, so reusability. And next one is what? JavaScript provides what? Security here. And one more thing, JavaScript is an interpreted programming language. Okay, what is it? Interpreted programming language. Sir, what is this interpreted programming language? That means what? It will execute the code line by line. Okay, so it will execute. Okay, so it will execute the code line by line, line by line. Okay, now, so uh, let me take one simple example here. So example, for example, if I take var a equal to 10, yes, it is valid. If I take a var equal to 10, okay, so this is invalid. Sir, when this will become invalid at the time of, okay, so at the time of okay, compilation. Okay, at the time of compilation, we will be getting error here. Sir, what type of error? Okay, so syntax error. Syntax error. Okay, done. This is very good. And one more thing, sir, you told that JavaScript will execute the code line by line at when, sir? Okay, at execution process. Okay, so at the execution process, okay, it will execute the code line by line here. Okay, guys. So if it executes the code line by line, what happens? Okay, so if a code is executed, okay, if a code is executed line by line, okay, so it takes more time. It takes more time to execute the code. Okay, to execute the code, and performance will be down. Okay, and the performance will be down here. Okay, guys. So these are the some disadvantages and some of the advantages of JavaScript here. But Angular people, that means what? Microsoft people has introduced Angular, whereas TypeScript has been introduced by whom? TypeScript has been introduced by Google here. Okay, so TypeScript is introduced by, okay, so TypeScript is introduced by Google, is introduced by Google later, later later this TypeScript, okay, so later this TypeScript is again, okay, is again taken care by, taken care by whom? Is again taken care by Microsoft here. Okay, so Microsoft, 1 minute guys. So there is a one small mistake, I think so. First, Google has introduced one scripting language. Okay, so Google has introduced one scripting language. Later TypeScript has been introduced by Microsoft. Later, TypeScript is introduced by, okay, is introduced by Microsoft here. Is introduced by Microsoft. Okay, first a scripting language is introduced by Google. So later, Microsoft has been introduced what? This TypeScript here. Okay, that is great. Next, what is the next one here? Okay, so who introduced TypeScript? TypeScript is introduced by, okay, so TypeScript is introduced by a person called as what? Okay, so Andrews, okay, I think so his name is Andrews. Okay, so Andrews Hergberg, something Hergberg. Okay, his name is what? Andrews Hergberg. He is the person who introduced TypeScript here. Okay, so by using TypeScript, okay, so by using TypeScript, what we can able to do? We can able to, okay, we can able to develop what? We can able to develop both Angular applications as well as, okay, so as well as React applications also. Okay, so both Angular applications as well as what? React applications also. Okay, now we will see what are the advantages of TypeScript. Okay, so what are the advantages of TypeScript here? Very simple. TypeScript is strongly typed programming language. Okay, so it is strongly typed. It is strongly typed programming language. And next, what is the next one here? Next one is TypeScript supports what? It supports what? OOPS concept. Okay, so it supports what? OOPS concepts. Next, TypeScript internally, okay, so internally communicates with hardware. Okay, so internally it communicates with hardware. Okay, very good. Next, it is very faster and it will take less memory. Okay, so it will take less memory to execute the program. Okay, so it will take less memory to execute the program here. Okay, done. Next, what is the next one here? This TypeScript is used at where? It is used at Angular, React, and other programming languages. Let me tell me Vue.js. Okay, so in Vue.js also we can able to use this TypeScript here. And one more thing, sir. Sir, my question is, sir, TypeScript is directly understandable by browser. Sir, it is directly understandable by browser. Sir, it is really understandable by browser. Answer is what? No, no. Internally, TypeScript. Okay, so internally, TypeScript will be converted. Okay, so TypeScript will be converted into JavaScript. Okay, so TypeScript will be converted into what? Into JavaScript here. Okay, so done. Okay, sir. Now let me tell me. Okay, so now you people will ask, sir, you are telling TypeScript will internally convert to JavaScript. What is the proof, sir? Okay, so what is the proof? Now let me open Visual Studio Code and let me show you how to develop a first developing a first TypeScript application. Okay, so one small TypeScript program here. TypeScript program. Okay, done. Now, first, let me open what? Let me open Visual Studio Code. Okay, so here, first, let me create a, okay, so folder. Okay, I have created a folder called what? Practice here. Okay, so here, let me create a new folder called what? Okay, so Angular. Okay, so Angular examples. Okay, done. Uh, Now let me open this folder. Open folder. Okay. So here desktop. Okay. So practice Angular examples. Select. Okay, done. Now let me create a file. Okay. So first example. Okay. So first example dot what? TS here. Now here let me define. Okay. So what is my first example? Okay. So first example. Just I want to show you, sir, internally TypeScript will be converted into JavaScript. That is my main agenda. Okay, so where, okay, so student name, okay, so where student name colon string equal to, okay, so Sai Teja. Okay, done. Now let me print this console.log of what? Student name. Okay, done. Now let me execute this program. Click on view, click on terminal. Okay, so here choose what? Here choose command prompt and here type first command tsc space. What is the file name? First examples. Okay, so first examples dot ts. Now observe when I click on enter, automatically a JS file will be created. No, observe here, a JS file will be created. Okay. Now internally see what is happening here. Okay, so a JS file is created. Okay, so where student name equal to Sai Teja. Okay, this is what JS file has been created. Okay, now let me run this program. Node space first examples. Okay, so first examples dot js here. Okay, now let me click on enter and now you can able to see the output here. What? Sai Teja. Now what is my main agenda here? My main agenda is internally a TypeScript file will be converted into a JavaScript. Okay, so this is my main agenda here. Okay guys, so after understanding this, okay, so after understanding this, what is the next one here? Okay, so what is the next one here? The next one here is, okay, so we will be understanding what are the data types that are available in TypeScript. Okay, so TypeScript is having some data types. Okay, so what are those data types which are available in TypeScript? Okay, so what are the different types of data types are available in TypeScript? Okay, so we will be understanding more about constructors, inheritance, oops concepts, everything we will be discussing in a flow here. Okay, so I'm winding up the session here. So in this video, just we have understood about, okay, so what are the features of TypeScript and why JavaScript has been, okay, so why JavaScript has been, that means what? Is not used, why TypeScript came into picture, like that we have understood some of the concepts here. Okay, so that's it guys. If you like my content, okay, so please press on the bell icon and please press on the subscribe button for more interesting videos on Angular. Okay, so thank you friends, have a great day.